Yep. No. No. Right at the bottom. The bottom bar. Yeah. The files. Is it the USafe? Are you on USafe? Make sure you're getting the USafe email
Shit. I don't know if I do.
in the top right. What email account are you signed on to? Sign on to USafe. It's gonna be that June 3rd.
Yeah.
Yep. I was able to get the NBA Finals and the
Yeah.
softball World Series.
Right. Okay, everyone. I am Sarah Bell. Welcome, everyone. This is the Sports Variety Show. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon and good morning, depending on where you are living. We have a lot to talk about today, for sure. We got softball, we got baseball, we got football, we got doing love talk. We got a lot to talk about. And let's dive right in, shall we? Yes. And we have several things we're going to talk about. Talking about Kay Adams. Let's see what young Kay. Looks like Kay Adams has made a huge personal announcement on Good Morning Football about her own show. Okay, let's talk about the NBA Finals, everybody. NBA Finals are set. We got the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Pacers, and yes, it is historic. Both teams have yet to win a championship. So whoever wins it will be the first one in their franchise history, as well as in their city. The Thunder actually has the best regular season record with 68 wins. The Pacers has secured the Eastern Conference win over the Knicks, and those Pacers in 6. And yeah, also, and the finals will be televised on ABC starting this Thursday night at 8:30 your time. 8:30. Make sure you check your local ABC stations and your local time in your area. And yes, and of course the Thunder are favored to win as well. And with that, the Pacers are the underdogs. And I do like a good underdog myself. Because I know a lot of times in Alabama, football is the underdogs, just like Georgia and teams like that. Especially Georgia, we end up winning. Anyway, ticket sale prices for the finals. The lowest price is $572. Of course, that doesn't include tax and the tariffs. And of course, and the highest is $700 for a home game for the Pacers. So the 527 is for the at Oklahoma, and the 700 is at Indiana. And yes, we have the College World Series boys and girls boys baseball and girls softball as well. We have the championship game set up. Game 1 of 3, game 1 best out of 3 will be Wednesday tomorrow at 7 p.m. We got Texas Tech and Texas. Either way, it will be a Texas team that will win. The University of Texas Longhorns will face the Tech University for the best out of 3. Like I said, it is best out of 3. Tickets for the women's softball college World Series for all this for a season start pass starts at $830. And if you're buying individual tickets, that is $45. And don't forget, I know we don't want to talk about it, but we do have the tails here to deal with. if they're still in place. Also, of course, with that, Texas Tech beat the favorite in the home team, Oklahoma, 3-2 in a dramatic fashion to secure their spot in the College World Series championship series. And Oklahoma's Abigail Dayton hit a 2-1 bomber in the seventh inning to tie up the game. But then later...
Okay, I found this on the web for Oklahoma's hit.
But Texas Tech's Lauren Alder delivered a walk-off single in the bottom of the inning to win it. Okay, we got that. Let's do some NFL talks. Yeah, I know T. Adams is talking about several different things. I love her podcast. And if you want to check out her podcast, make sure you do. I love it. It's called Up the Madams. They are one of the best, one of many best podcasts that I love to listen to, as well as Jim Matamali, and of course, KBN, Green Tausch, which is on right now on ESPN Radio Madison, Milwaukee, and Beaver Dam. And of course, one of my favorites as well. That is Evan Cohen, Michelle Smallman, and Chris Dainty with Sportsmanlike. And yes, Wednesday, it was just about a week ago, says Adam shared the news that she will be making her debut at Fantastics Fest in New York City. The Up Adams host will be hosting a panel alongside the former quarterbacks Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, as well as current quarterbacks Caleb Williams and Alabama's own Bryce Young. This is definitely huge news because I am a Bryce Young guy, being an Alabama boy myself. And yes, it definitely is huge news. She can't wait for this debut at the Fantastic Fest this summer at NYC. And being hosting the Franchise Faces panel with Eli, Peyton, Caleb, and Bryce as well. So make sure you get your tickets and come and hang out with us on June the 20th. So that's coming up in a few weeks. Let me give you the exact, let me see how long that will be exactly. Let me check my calendar and let's see here. Today's the 3rd, so we got a while. So the 20th will be 2 weeks from Friday. So 2 weeks from this Friday will be the 20th. It'll be 2 weeks from now. So make sure you go wherever you get your tickets for that event, and make sure you enjoy yourself. And this was also on Instagram. So make sure you follow them along. All four of them, not just on. Make sure you follow all four of them: Peyton, Eli, Bryce, Caleb, and Kay, all also on social media, as well as myself on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and of course Twitter, X, and TikTok. Make sure you hit that bell so you can get all those notifications of upcoming episodes and shorts as well. Yes, so make sure you get those tickets for that date. Let's have a fantastic time in New York City. And yes, there will be A-listers and athletes on stage as well. On the theater and the center stage, snag. You can get yourself some snacks and some merch, tacos, products, and for limited edition, FF NYC will be drop off and even buy and sell and trade all weekend long with over 250 dealers from around the world at this event. And yes, Fantastic Fest will also is self-described as the world's largest arena of sports. I should go to this thing actually as well. Sports and collectibles. This event, which takes place June 20th, like I said, through the 22nd, will also feature appearances from the big names like Tom Brady, Kevin Durant, Derek Jeter, and Jalen Daniels, Allen Iverson, and Dwayne Wade, and more. So, I got to get my tickets, so make sure you get your tickets as well for that. Okay, now, let's see what I can get from Adam Schefter, because we got a lot of things coming in with all my sources. One of them is, of course, Adam Schefter. Looks like, let's see, how about a little projection from SportsCenter from a couple of days ago, 4 days ago. This is all 25 NBA Finals predictions. Could actually come true. So let's see what he says. Okay, so it says he might be an NFL insider, but he does have his own. He does have an NBA prediction. And let's see. He's saying, I'm going to take the New York Knicks. Oh, right. He's taking the Knicks versus the Thunder. Apparently, he wanted the Knicks and the Thunder. But only one of those teams got through. And of course, this was like 4 days ago before the Pacers got in for him. So that's that. Okay, we also have, and with the playoffs being set, one of the best things of all is how they always put on the red carpet and how all the celebs and local celebs and all that come out. I always love when they come out. It's really fun. And yes, there'll be some free agency going on, active coming up, especially after the final could be going on. So I will give you more of that as that comes to me with my sources with the NBA. We got baseball, everybody. That's right. Baseball is in full force. Baseball is in full force and it's getting hot. The Brewers are on a winning streak here. They are streaking, which I did not sure that was gonna end up happening, but it did, and it still is. Let's check out a little Major League Ball here. You had a couple of games last night. Like I said, the Brewers won their game 3-2 against the Reds on the road. The Red Sox go down by 6-7 at home. The Rockies finally got a win again, 6-4 against the Mariners. Dodgers go down at home at 4-3 at home in 10. The Twins go at 10-4 against the Athletics. The Giants lose it 1-0 to the Padres at home. And yes, Shohei Ohtani is starting to come back, not just with the bat, but also with his pitching arm. And it looks like the Yankees have a waiver out for 4 to 6 weeks now. Mike Trout as to not return. Trout has a hot return with a hitter, the 454-foot homer in victory style. And yes, apparently there have been some little overseas issue here. Overseas batter behind McCullum's threats. We gotta watch out for this. And looks like Japanese Japan's Mr. Baseball has passed away at 89. We do want to definitely give him and his family their condolences and hope you're doing well. Make sure you do it. I hope they're doing well with their loss. I am sorry for their loss. If you see this, I do apologize for your loss and hope you all get better and in this time of need. Okay, now, shall we do the power rankings in baseball or should we not? Because that's the question. How soon is too soon to start power ranking baseball games? That's the real question, really. And yes, we are getting closer and closer to the NFL preseason. So make sure you get your fantasy leagues together and make sure you have your draft ready to go. That way, you'll be ready for the season. And yes, there are still free agents going on out there. I know we're still waiting on Aaron Rodgers to see where he's going to go. Of course, so far you all know it's to going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But let's see how that's going to play out. And yes, Christian Yelich keeps Brewers rolling despite a bruised hand. Talking about grinding. For sure. You have, okay, let's see. I'll go. I got a lot of pads here, so yes. And with that, with the NFL, we do have Halliburton. Can Tyrese Halliburton keep the pace up that he had in the last series with Oklahoma? Because Oklahoma is pretty dominant, our dominant offensive and defensive team, even in the boards, and they have, like I said, the best record in the NBA. So let's see how well Tyrese can do. Tyrese and the Pacers should do against the Thunder. Yes. And it looks like Bush Layer is back to the Dodgers at shortstop on the move. Looks like after the last trade of all 30 teams, because I haven't never thought that there could be a single player that have been traded not once, but 30 times, going to Yale, whatever, so to play with all 30 teams. That's hard to do. And just think about how much wear and tear that takes on their bodies. Especially if you were the catcher and you had to squat. And yes, we do have college football about to be starting up soon. College football camps are going to start again pretty soon, along with the NFL. So how about we talk a little bit about college football? So NCAA football. Let me see. Here we go. And they do have games that finally have times and dates and TV channels, so I can give you some more of that. Okay, starting on August 23rd. That's right, August. We're already in June. All right, so we got like 2 months left before we get to August, and the next season will be starting for college football, and same with even with the pros. All right, Kansas State will be playing against Iowa State at 11 a.m. on ESPN, and that's Saturday the 23rd of August. Same with Fresno State, Kansas. And that's at 5:30 game on Fox. So make sure you check those games in your area, your local Fox and ESPN stations for that. and your times in your area. Same thing for Saturday with Sam Houston versus Western Kentucky on CBS SN at 6 p.m. CBS for Hawaii and Stanford and Hawaii. That's always one thing I always wondered about. Because when you go to a game, a college game in Hawaii, it's kind of like it's kind of feels like a ball game to me, even though it's just a regular season football game. We have one that's yet to be determined, that Stony Brook at San Diego State. And I'm just happy to have a family member that goes there. And of course, Boise State, South Carolina at 4:30 on ESPN. And that's Thursday night, as well as Ohio and Rutgers at Big Ten at 5 p.m. We have, as well as also another 5 p.m. on ESPN Plus with Bowling Green and Lafayette. East Carolina and North Carolina State will go out on ACC North that same Thursday at 6 p.m. All right, let's do a couple more here. All right, Jackson State, 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus against USC. But here's the thing: we all know the famous coach that's with Jackson State before he went to Colorado, prime time himself. I wonder how it's going to be with Jackson State since prime time has not been coaching at Jackson State. I know they did. I think they were okay last year. Let's see. Okay, how about a power index for college football, everybody? Let's dive into this. This is the power index and title odds. And I got 20 right here, and we can start from 20 up to 1. At number 20, we got the Wildcats of Kansas State. For the Big 12. For the SEC, we got the Gators at 19. At 18, we got the SMU Mustangs. And then the Sooners of Oklahoma at 17. Going to the second year of the new conference being in the SEC. Same with South Carolina and the Gamecocks. Michigan, the Wolverines. The Tigers of Auburn at 14. Rebels of Ole Miss at 13. The Tigers of LSU, 12 and 11. The Aggies of Texas A&M. And of course, we get the Vols of Tennessee at 10. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Also Notre Dame. And that's the only team that's independent. And then we got the Hurricanes in Miami, Clemson Tigers. The 7 Ducks of Oregon at 6. That I did not think of to be Clemson 6. Penn State Nifty Lions at 5. Mine Alabama Crimson Tide at number 4. That's not bad. Ohio State Buckeyes the 3. Bulldogs at Georgia 2. And you got the Longhorns of Texas. Welcome at number 1 on the Power Index. So, yes. And looking at these percentages, the lowest one, looking at all these rankings for the playoff chances or percentages, the lowest one will be Florida, which would be 14.5% chances of making a playoff game. Next one up from there, from 14, will be 18. And that will be the Gamecocks of South Carolina at 18.4. Actually, there's Oklahoma at 18.4. Then, yeah, and then it's further up from there with the others. So those are the lowest ones in those rankings for championship odds. So yeah, you can count out Florida for now, but let's see if they still have a chomp when the season begins. And yes, of course, we got to do a little NFL talk as well, because yes, we have this week. We had a lot of good new players, new rookies coming in. Let's see who's going to play, who's going to be seated, who's going to be going to the practice squad, who will be not on the team and going somewhere else. And those teams will have to be teams that have not signed a contract. They had a contract, an ironclad contract to a point that they would have to stay. Yeah, I think there is some little gray area went out there for that. So yeah, NFL, here we go. Preseason, week 1 will be the 7th through the 13th of August. And that will be, we have the Hall of Fame game. We got Cowboys Eagles on September the 4th. Okay, this is I'll go to week 1, actually, because I know the free games don't count much, but because most of the teams that are playing, the starters get some play time, but not as much as the play time. That way they can really go into their different rooms to have, like the receivers, the tight ends, special teams, all of them, all those different pieces of the game. That will be beneficial to win. We have the Eagles and the Cowboys, the reigning champs of the Eagles, going against the Cowboys, which I love this one because they always have the Super Bowl winning champs on the first game of the year. I love it. I do love it. There'll be some games they have now, but they have lately. So Eagles Cowboys will go at it on Thursday on the 4th of September. NBC and Peacock with that one. And we have a Friday game on the 5th. Chiefs Chargers, and that's in Sao Paulo. Last year, the Sao Paulo game was the Eagles and the Packers. And that was the same field that they're going to be playing on that Jordan Love went down on his first, with this injury. The first one, the MCL tear. So, yeah, and this is one thing that I don't like about overseas games. Because they don't have, not a lot of these overseas games do not all have legit football schedule, football fields versus a soccer field they had to play on. And soccer field is a lot more slicker and a lot more dangerous than it is for a football field. We definitely saw that last year with many games, especially the first game with the Packers playing in Sao Paulo. That's how Jordan Love had his injury, and he was not the only one that went down on injury. Of course, they're probably not as significant as Love, but yes, there were other places that did go down because of it. And I think the NFL should definitely talk with the people overseas, have a facility down there, have NFL business offices and all that to expand. Not just in the U.S., but also overseas as well. They can oversee a lot of things that we do here out there. That way, we can have legit football fields that player teams can play on and not have to worry about having a major injury because they're playing on a soccer field. And I think that would be a good idea for Roger Goodell, the Players Union, and the owners should do. And of course, for the Packers, it will be the president, since they don't have an owner. So owners, Packers, president, CEO, and players unions, and Goodell and the NFL, and of course it should also involve the referees, because the referees had to run on that too. And of course on the 7th we have on CBS. The three of them, we've got the Raiders and the Patriots, Dolphins, and the Colts. Cardinals at the Saints. Those are all ABC, CBS games and at noon. We are, as well as the Jets and the Steelers. And yes, Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Because if we all know this, more like it will be happening, and that is with Aaron Rodgers being a Pittsburgh Steeler. And with that, he will be playing not just one game, but two games, two separate teams that he has been on. The first one is week 1, that I just said, Steelers Jets. And then a couple of weeks later, they will be playing the Pack. With this one, Pittsburgh is favored by 2.5 points, according to ESPN Bet. Giants and Commanders at home at noon. Same with Jags and the Panthers at noon, same time. Same with the Browns and the Bengals at Cleveland. And this is what I wonder about Cleveland. Will Shedeur Sanders win the starting position? Yeah, he's only a rookie, but not very few rookie quarterbacks get that opportunity and do well. Look at CJ Stroud. Look at I'm thinking here. CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, I think did. There are a bunch of rookies you can think of that have started in this era, not just back in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, but now, even within the last 10 years. Seahawks and the 49ers should go at it at 3:05 at Fox. And I want to see how well my guy, Jalen, would do. That's right, Alabama's quarterback went there. Okay, sometimes I go to that, but before I see his name, I need to take a Prime break. So this is Alabama Prime. Make sure you get Prime by wherever you get your Prime. I got the cherry freeze right here. It is one of my favorites and many favorites that I have. And this is free break sponsored by them. Prime. Oh yeah. And that is good. I do mean good. Because me. You have the Seahawks. Sorry, folks, I gotta make sure I got the name. Bryce Young. That's right. Well, Bryce Young went 2 years ago, actually. Okay. Jalen Milrow. I know it's Jalen Milrow. Sorry about that. It took me a minute. Sometimes my head plays little games on me, yeah. But anyway, yeah, Jalen Milrow is the Seahawks. I want to see how he does. And with that, we got the Broncos at 3-5 as well. I want to see how Bo Nix comes back from last season against the Titans. That should be a pretty easy game. We got the Packers and the Lions. That's right, the Lions. We got a conference game right out the gate in week 1. And this game definitely could go either way. And this will be the first game for the Lions since they had changed their staffing when it comes to the coordinators. Texas Rams will go out at 3:25 as well, also on CBS. So make sure you check those local listings and your local CBS stations and times in your area for that. You got the Sunday night game, of course. We always love that. We always love and carry on to us, sing that song. Radio night for us, Sunday night. Ravens and the Bills. That's definitely going to be watched. And yes, the Bills are favored by 1.5 points with that, according to ESPN Bet. And if you are a gambler and you have to be 18 years or older, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions may apply. We do have Vikings and the Bears going at a Monday night game. That's right, the Vikings and the Bears is the first Monday night game. And yes, it will be simulcast on ABC and ESPN. And I believe it will also be on like ESPN2 Plus or not, the minicast. So let's see if the minicast was to be on that night. So that's 7:15 game, ABC, ESPN, and possibly even with the minicast. I got to check on that. So yeah, make sure you do check that out. We have MLB going on. Let's see about see if there's any trade going on. Okay, this is according to MLB.com. That's 10 hours ago. And the deadline is coming. The calendar has flipped to June, like we said. It is June. We're getting close to the All-Star break, which means the All-Star break is even closer. The All-Star break is getting even closer and closer. And that also means it's going to be a lot faster when we get to the cutoff for the trade deadline. And okay, it says roughly 8 weeks remain. The 8 weeks left for the trade deadline. That's 8 more weeks for the trade deadline. The last day of that would be July 31st. The last day of July would be the last day of trading for MLB. So let's see what teams will be more likely to be sellers and buyers. Okay, these are the teams that are there will be sellers. And that would be the Rockies, White Sox, Mariners, Nationals, Athletics, Pirates. Teams that more likely will be buyers. And some of these would be teams clubhouses that are hovering around the 500 mark. So that would be the New York Yankees, which is surprisingly on this list. Astros, Phillies, Mets, and the Cubbies. And of course, leading the way, we got the Dodgers. The Mariners, the Giants, the Cardinals certainly will be there. And of course, we got the Blue Jays and the Twins and the Guardians and the Royals as well. And that's including all the AL wildcard mix, which will be forming in the wildcard mix for those teams. All 3 AL teams were more than 5 games out of the wildcard spot entering Monday. That was yesterday. While all but 3 NL teams were within 5.5 games of a postseason spot. That remains. 24 out of the 30 teams are still within striking distance, starting up with a critical 6 or 7 weeks of the standings to shake out. Okay, let's talk NBA draft. Yes, we know the sport. We know the San Antonio has the of course, we have the Mavericks at the Dallas Mavericks at number 1. Then the Spurs at 2. We got the Sixers at 3, 4. The Hornets, the Jazz, Wizards, New Orleans, and the Nets. That's just the first handful of the draft of the picks. So let's see who goes well. I know Cooper Flag is projected to go first to Dallas Mavericks, but there are chances that the Dallas could trade the pick for someone else. But we'll see. Okay, how about a little new set of power rankings for the NFL? Starting to here are the top 7. Number 7. Okay, let me see. 7 at number 7, we got the Saints with total. Okay, these are the power rankings teams with a new starting quarterback. Saints at 7 with total shout. Cleveland Browns at 6, and they're yet to determine their starter. The Giants with Russell Wilson at 5, Cam Ward at 4 with Tennessee. The Raiders with Geno Smith, Sam McDonald with the Seahawks, and then J.J. McCarthy with the Minnesota Vikings, which is definitely was not a surprise for me as well. Not at all. Because there's been a lot of talk about J.J. McCarthy. Let me see if I can get some on him while I'm at it. But I do. There we go. And yes, it looks like right here, as of 19 hours ago, according to the Newsweek, J.J. McCarthy, the Vikings are reportedly concerned about McCarthy. Yeah, will be his first season playing, but this will be his second year in the league. Because we all know last year he went down on injury before he even got started to play a game. Even to play his first snap in a game snap as a Viking himself last year. And of course, it looks like, okay, this is out of 37 minutes ago. Looks like the surgical of the Vikings OTA practice. We get the highlights out. So if you want to check the highlights, go check the highlights out. Yes, and there was a podcast, J.J. McCarthy's big moment, and the Timberwolves move to watch. Make sure you check that out. And of course, we all know his fiancée, JJ and his fiancée are expecting their first kid as well. Okay, me. Yeah, see. Okay, let's talk about a little Jordan Love, shall we? Is anybody out there that would like to put out, let me know What do you think about Jordan Love? Will Jordan Love is Jordan Love going to improve or stay the same or be worse than the last 2 seasons that he has been our starter? Because 2 years ago he was pretty good with this 9-game stretch. Last year he was pretty average, pretty good. Made some good plays and whatnot. Of course, he had a lot of blown plays. Keeping the ball too long at times, had to scramble at times, throwing the ball cross field instead of throwing it away, and throwing on the next down. And of course, we have this one been talking throughout the news. Jordan, how he took a step back with the improved the record. That definitely has been definitely a topic that's been talked about lately as well. And yes, we are dealing with what we want to do in the receiver room with the Packers. Yes, and Packers has cut a receiver after an injury after OTA. Okay, that's not always common. That's pretty common somewhat to release a player after an injury at OTAs. OTAs are underway now. They've been going on for a while now. So yeah. And yeah, and of course the release was this one was according to Yahoo Sports. According to Wisconsin Sports Heroic, Packers waived their receiver due to injury. Same player. And of course, this is according to Sports Illustrated as of 2 days ago, saying the Packers receivers are dropping the ball on Love. But you sure they are just dropping the ball to make him look bad or make them look bad? I think it's not just the receivers. I think a lot of this is on Love. For where he's throwing the ball, locating the ball, and the receivers reading, making the right reads, the right routes, running the right routes, and following the instructions. Because it's one thing when you take instructions from the head coach. It's another when you take it from the quarterback, because the head coach has to communicate with his quarterback in the headset for each play. So yes. And this is according to MSN Newsweek that the floor is fine back at Love. I got to look into this more on that. About the floor, talking about Love. Okay, let's see. We can look at a little depth chart, shall we? See. Okay. Well, before that, actually, you know what? We need to talk about some Jair Alexander. Should he stay? Should he go in a trade, or should he be cut? That's the question. That's the main question. Should he be traded, cut, or stay on the team? He is pretty good when he's healthy. He is dominant. He can be dominant. The main thing is keeping him healthy all year long. Because he has missed a chunk of games in the last several years. In the last few years that he has been playing. Yeah, he has. He definitely has the skill and everything. It's just the minutes that he plays versus the minutes he's on the sideline. That is what I'm concerned about. Is the play time he's going to get, because we all know he has had to deal with injuries lately. Excuse me. Yes, I need more prime so I can stay myself awake and alert. That way I can keep going with this for the next little while before I call it a day, and then I will be doing some more lives later on. And I got some great news. My girlfriend Taylor Allison Rodriguez is now living in the Badger State, so we'll be doing a lot more on this on my show, as well as her show, and the show that we have together. But first, we drink this. Ah, that was good. Okay. Like I was saying before I did to that prime break, my girlfriend and I have our own show, a show together called Living with Down Syndrome. I'm Sarah, she's Kayla, and we have our own show called Living with Down Syndrome. So make sure you check our social platforms, Facebook, YouTube. Hit that bell on YouTube so you get all the notifications for that. X, Facebook, like I said, YouTube, hit that bell, and make sure you check us on Instagram and TikTok as well. So make sure you follow on all of those platforms. There you have, and eventually we'll get a Blue Sky one going. We'll let you know about that as well. And once we have the podcast version of it out, we'll let you know, and that will be out on Spotify as well as Apple Music as well. Wherever you get your podcast. Okay, let's get back into it. Yes, training camp will be starting soon, and this is as of recently, actually. According to Sports Illustrated, 5 key questions before the Packers training camp starts in 50 days. First question is how quick can our rookie receivers get up to speed? How quick can they? We have we did draft a couple of receivers this year in the draft with Matthew Golden and Siobhan Williams. I really want to give these guys their reps so they can actually be in there and have their speed even picked up or even double whatever they need to do to get in there to make key plays and getting the touchdowns and all. And they have a talent group. We got and it says here that they have a talent group and think the class is going to be a special class. And that's going to our safety Xavier McKinney, and he said that a week ago. And it also says that he also said, all right, this is what he says. McKinney says it will be fun going out there and competing with them for sure. And obviously, they're still rookies. They're still trying to get acclimated to everything that's going on. You can still see some of the nervousness here and there, but they'll get over it and move reps that they get. So, yeah. Question 2 is who will step up as playmakers? Okay. This is what okay, they say here Tucker Craft. Because he had dominant, his dominant numbers he has 50 receptions. He also has a nightmare, and he's definitely a nightmare for sure. And don't get Luke Musgraves as well. One of the guys that and of course, I would like to look at. Let me double check. Packers. Here we go. And this is going. I've got the. Here we go. Just need to have a list up here. For me, I would definitely like to see Jonathan Baldwin giving it a shot. One guy I definitely want to see. Two guys that I definitely want to see do well is Agent Cooper and of course Kenny Clark. And for the receivers, I would have to go with definitely Romeo Dobbs. So yes, we got a lot of good playmakers that we got. Of course, Jenkins, Elton Jenkins as well. Kraft is up there. Low could be, but it's only depending on how well he does. And of course, I'm getting Matthew, our rookie guys as well. So yeah, okay. And the number one question, the question is: Can Jordan Morgan make any headway versus the rushed Walker? I think so. It just depends on how if Walker is going to turn on the Jets more. We can turn the Jets on more. Cam or Rashad. Because I know Rashad has been there for quite a while now. He's getting up there in age. We all know that Goody is a young, plays young, and no one over the age of 30, which is, to me, just stupid. Yeah, he should be 30 years old or older, still be good. Not like he's trying to let him out to pasture or anything like that. Okay, like you said, we have the All-Star break coming up soon. And yes, this year's All-Star break is now back in Atlanta. I know it was a few years ago they had it, but they postponed it, changed it up. Yeah. Yes. And we'll be at Truist Park for the home of the Atlanta Braves, so this is definitely going to be fun. Because I am an Atlanta Braves fan myself. I grew up a Braves fan, being from Alabama. Alabama didn't really have much of pro teams like football, baseball, basketball, and that. So Atlanta and Louisiana were the two closest states that we had that had professional sports. And of course, I went to the Georgia area of it. And yes, we also will have the most famous home run derby the night before. And that's what I wonder. And we're going to find out, eventually we'll make the announcement of who will be participating in this year's home run derby. Y'all know last year's winner will do it again this year. That's how they always do that. But let's see if he can get any competition for this year. Even better competition. And I know one guy that should be on that list. O'Shea Ohtani himself. Have O'Shea Ohtani on there because we know he can hit. And have him on. About then he could be pitching games again. So he can do the home run derby with that, and then the next day, the All-Star game itself, he could be the starter. Possibly be the starting pitcher. But we'll find that out. So yes, I'm only gonna have friends and family on my own out there. So we'll be there in person. And in fact, the last time they went to St. Louis, I have family that was there for sure. My Aunt Betty. Anyway, yes. And if you want to get your tickets, make sure you go to FanDuel well enough, make sure you go to SeatGeek or wherever you get your tickets at the StubHub, Ticketmaster, MLB.com, wherever you get your tickets, make sure you get tickets for that. For the All-Star break, the All-Star game itself, the home run derby, and of course, don't get the annual celebrity softball game as well. That's one of the favorite parts of the All-Star break for me is the celebrity softball game. They have former players that play baseball. They have actors, actresses, wrestlers like The Miz, or Truth, that kind of thing. And yes, I'm sorry to announce that R-Truth has been released from the WWE. I believe that has to do with budget cuts, because yes, they still had to do with money. Even as a wrestling company, they still had to do with money and budgets. But yeah, and the tickets will be on. Looks like the tickets have been on sale already, so make sure you get your tickets now before they go. Before they go. Okay. And if you always see me wear Iron Jock on here, and if you ever want to, make sure you go to ironjock.com to place your order, pick what you want. They got amazing women's clothing as well, athletic wear and formal wear at the same time. And the best part about it, it doesn't smell because of everything that's been infused into it, the odorless. Make it odorless with the silver, with everything that's been in there. And make sure you listen to Jim and Molly. They will tell you more about Iron Jock as well, and Cumberland Health. Yes, Cumberland Health is there's a med spa and a gym as well. They have 2 locations, one in Madison and one in Sun Prairie area. The one in Madison has the gym and the beauty side as well. And then the one in Sun Prairie area is just the beauty stuff and the semaglutide. So if you have issues with your weight, I have issues with my weight. I got to get out there. I got to try again, get out there and give it an extra. So make sure you set up your appointment with Mr. Rodriguez. You should blow it down and see if you have a low testosterone. Okay. A lot of people like to know about, let's see. Okay, we're almost done for the day for this episode, but we'll be doing some more live later on this week as well. And yes, Father's Day is coming up soon, and with the Iron Jock, we do have a promo code for you to use. That's 40% off everything, plus an Iron Jock cap for you for free. And all you gotta do is make a minimum purchase of $50. And make sure you use the promo code Father's Day 40. That's Father's Day 40 for 40% off your Iron Jock gear and get yourself a free Iron Jock hat. And that is good until the 15th. June 15th of this year. That will be valid. Okay. And now, a new little fantasy book. This is according to the most accurate experts, Fantasy Pros. I like fantasy football. I have done a couple of fantasies here and there. Most of them was with my work at Restream Radio Madison. And here we go. Starting at number 1, Jamal Chase. His average is 4.1. You got Bonjon Robinson with the 0.7. 3 stars out of 5 for Jamal Chase. 4 out of 5 for George Robinson. Shaquan Barkley, definitely a good one to go with. For your second running back, that would be 3 out. He has a 3 stars with a 3.8 average. Justin Jefferson has 2 out of 5 with 0.7. That's pretty low. Jamal Gibbs of Alabama, 2 out of 5 with a 2.9. CeeDee Lamb, 2 to 5. He actually, so far, the only one I see has a minus on it. Minus 0.4. Minus 0.4. I never thought someone going to be the minus when it comes to fantasy football. But hey, it can happen. Puka Nacua with 1.4 with 3 stars out of 3 out of 5. We're going to have an average for Ashton Gentry, but he's 2 out of 7 stars. Then you got Brian Thomas Jr. at 9, and then we got Brian Thompson Jr. Then at 9, we got 10, we got Amon Ray St. Brown. 12, we have this is actually 102 and 112. But I don't know why I'm getting all these. These are higher numbers, but you're trying to get it. Make sure you check your local areas to get yourself into the fantasy leagues. And make sure you do your homework before you make your picks. And let's see if anyone can get a good season in fantasy and possibly an undefeated season. Which I doubt will happen, but we'll find out. Okay. All right, I did this one. This is be an easier mock draft. We got at 1.9, we got Emma. Okay, I see this guy's name. Excuse me, folks. Sorry about that. Okay, let me see here. Sorry about that. My lady has to text me, my girlfriend. Sorry about that. This is a great thing about having multiple devices. I can check anything pretty fast. Actually, this one probably be a little easier to do when it comes to rankings in baseball. Okay, this is the power rankings for the baseball. We got 1. The Phillies. They bumped up 2 spots. The Tigers bumped up 1 spot to number 2, Detroit. At 3, that also dropped 1 spot. Was the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Yankees at 4 stayed at 4. Cubs came up 1. with 35 and 21 record. A 5 for the Chicago Cubs, not bad. The Knicks are at number 6. We have, which was what lost dropped the spot. The Padres are at 7. They just stayed. 9th, 8th, you got the Mariners. They stay as well. Same with the San Francisco 49ers, and they had changed. They have stayed the same. St. Louis Cardinals are 10, up 2 spots from 12. Excuse me about that. We got 10, the Twins at 10. Minnesota up 1. Houston Astros. Okay, they bumped a couple spots. See 12. Up 3 spots from 15th to 12th for the Houston Astros. That's a good jump. And we got a drop here from 11 down to 13. D-backs of Arizona. Cleveland Browns with 15 games above 500. You got 14 got the Browns. That's a 4 ranks, a jump by 4. And the Braves dropped by 1 from 14th to 15th. 25, 28 record. They need help. I know Ronald Acuna is back from his Achilles, but we still need help, especially in the pitching area as well. And okay, some more on the offense. All right, number 16, a big jump from 22 to number 16. Got the Tampa Bay Rays. We have a drop from 13th to 17th with the Kansas City Royals. That's a pretty big, significant drop. As well as the drop for the Boston Red Sox. Yes, they had dropped a series to the Milwaukee Brewers, actually. Well, not so long ago as well. And they did well against the Braves. The Cincinnati Reds stayed at 19. The Milwaukee Brewers are slow and steady at number 20 still. Rangers of Texas down from 17 to 21. That's definitely a big drop. We have the Toronto Blue Jays up 1, 22 from 21. 24 to 23 up 1 as the Anaheim Angels. Angels. We got the Nationals just up 1 with 5 games under 500. And yes, they were one of the teams that I did mention that needs help in the trade. The trades, the trading deadline coming up. Athletics at 25, and they were dropped only by 2 spots. The Mariners stayed at 26th, as they have. Same with the Baltimore Orioles and the Pittsburgh Pirates as well. And then the White Sox, staying at 29. And 30 with the Rockies of Colorado. There's only 9 victories. So the Rockies are the White Sox of this year. Even though the White Sox are slightly better, but not by much, are the Rockies. And we always love our Coors Lights. And we always know in the Mountains of Blue, you know what to do. And that's the question, Coors Light. Okay, let's see. We are almost done for today, and I do want to thank everyone for coming in. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is it's fantasy for the second round. All the NFL draft of this year. Let's take a look at this one. Tyreek Hill of Miami. Jackson Smith and Gio to the Seahawks. Cincinnati's Bengals T. Higgins. Well, that's not bad at all. And this is Quentin Armstrong just saying that the Bengals have agreed to a record deal with Jamal Chase as the highest paid non-quarterback and T. Higgins, the highest paid running back, wide receiver 2 in the league. Next, $4 million for a 4-year deal. Oh, I'm gonna go back to that. Sorry about that. All right, you're getting there. Okay, looking at some more stuff here of Kay Adams here. Okay, this is what Kay have about Shador Sanders about a year ago in his interview. If you want to check that interview, make sure you do. Okay, it says Kay Adams says here, JG better Aaron Rodgers with quotes. Kay Adams warns Vikings quarterback while remaining they have no excuse to win. We'll find out. Okay, folks, we're gonna. You know what? We got 15 minutes of the hour, and my computer's about to go down. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. We're gonna do a photo episode next week for the last 15 minutes because I need to bring my cord. I think I have it, but I'm not sure. But I am celebrating the Sports Variety Show. Enjoy your day, everybody. See you next time. And make sure you always have variety in your day. See you then. See you next time.